So you're going to host Eurovision. This is a big deal for European people.
Yeah.
How excited are you, and how did you get approached to do that?
So first of all, I'm extremely excited. It's something that I grew up with. It's part of European culture and tradition. It doesn't matter what country you come from. Everybody knows what Eurovision is. We've all participated in watching it ever since we were kids. And it's an honor for a variety of reasons. One, hosting it in Portugal, which is the country I grew up in. It was the first time last year that Salvador, he won for Portugal. And it was the first time Portugal has ever won a Eurovision. So that was a big deal and an honor. So it's a huge honor for a variety of reasons. One of them being that it takes place in Portugal, where I grew up, and I love being able to represent my country, internationally in a way. And then Salvador, he won for the first time for Portugal, so that's a big deal for us. And then also, this is going to be the first year that we have 4 female hosts, and I think now in this day and age, in this these movements of female empowerment, it's kind of a big move for such a big organization like the EBU. So.
Mm-hmm. So how are you going to prepare for that, and when are you going to Portugal?
So we finish NCIS LA, I think it's somewhere on April 9th, so I'll probably head to Europe shortly after that. And then they need us for rehearsals and shooting end of April, and then until the final on May 12th.
Mm-hmm. So did you watch Salvador winning last year?
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah, I watched him. I was in Portugal. My husband, who's American, had no idea what Eurovision was. And so we did like a family gathering at my mom's place, and we were watching it, and we knew Salvador was one of the favorites to win. Mm-hmm. And the song was beautiful, and he was singing in our language. A lot of people sing in English, sort of international language. And he chose to sing in our own Portuguese, and there was no fireworks, there was no big lights. It was just him by himself on stage, and he won. His simplicity and the beauty won. The music spoke for itself, which was awesome. So my husband was like, "This is amazing. I didn't even know what Eurovision was," and all of a sudden he's sort of feeling that vibe with all of us. So yeah, the idea is actually the original idea was actually my husband's. He was like, so it's going to take place in Portugal next year? And I was like, yeah. He goes, you should totally host it. And I was like, okay, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Like there's, we have amazing hosts in Portugal. Why would they ever? And he's like, well, because the show plays in all these European countries. People recognize you. You're Portuguese. It makes total sense for you to be a part of this. And I was like, that would be great. So I contacted, my agents back home, and they loved the idea, and we approached them, and they were like, yeah, we'd love to have you. So so myself and 3 other great, beautiful female hosts.
Did you watch it while you were in Portugal, you were growing up? Did you watch it?
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course we did. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Of course I did. I mean, just to think of the people that came out of Eurovision. I mean, Celine Dion. Most people would never guess that Celine Dion, she sang for Switzerland, and ABBA. Mm. All these huge bands that people, even in the US, recognize nowadays, they came from Eurovision.
So I'm going to tell you something. I'm pretty sure you don't know that, but the last time France won was with a Portuguese singer.
Was it really?
It was back in 1977.
I didn't know that.
Her name still is, and she's very talented and very kind person. Her name is Marie Myriam, and she's from Portuguese descent family. Yeah.
Really? But she grew up in France, or?
No, she grew up in Africa.
Okay.
They moved to Africa, and then they went to France.
Africa.
Yeah, I think it was French Africa. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then she won, and we never won again since it's been 40. That's
really
crazy. Yeah, it is interesting. It's funny. Yeah, do you sing a little bit or not at all?
Not really, no. It's definitely not my strong suit. I can dance and I can act, but
no singing.
It's like if I have to learn something for a part with enough rehearsals, I think I could get by. But I mean, I could never, release an album. Maybe for charity, if people want to hear like nails on a chalkboard.
So what was the reaction of your colleagues here at NCIS when you told them you were going to do that? Because, like you say, it's not well known here. Nobody knows what Eurovision is.
So I had to explain what it was even to my agent here in the US. I said, okay, let me just give you the backstory to this thing I'm going to tell you. So I've known for months, and I was, I had to keep it secret because they hadn't released who the hosts would be for a long time, because all this was organized last year. And so I called my agent and, I told her and she was like, great, we'll keep it secret. And then when it was finally public, I told my friends, I was like, guys, I'm so excited to tell you I'm going to host Eurovision. They're like, what? What's Eurovision? And I was like, let me tell you, it's the longest running singing televised contest ever in the world. It's been going on since 1960 something. And so, when I explained to them and then I explained the viewership, it's like between 100 and, I haven't got a specific number of viewership, but there's like between 100 and 200 million viewers for this event. And I think when you put it in those proportions, then people are like, oh wow, no, it is actually a big deal. So as obviously being on a show that's been on for so many years, where I was like, okay, what numbers did we get on Sunday? What are the ratings? What are the actual viewership? So that's something that means something to all of us. So I had to explain it, but they were very happy for me.
So it's been 9 years. The show is being on for 9 years. Does it consume most of your life, or how long do you think you can go like this? Is it,
I'll go for as long as they'll have me, I think. I mean, there's nothing about this show, and I think I speak for everybody. I mean, I hope I speak for everybody, but there's nothing about this show that makes you want to leave. The writing is good, the directing is good, the producers are incredible, and if you need anything at all, they will do whatever they can to accommodate you. Like, it's like, hey, I have this really cool thing I'd like to go to, I have this event I'd love to go to. They'll be like, if we can make it work, we will make it work. And then just the chemistry between the cast and the crew is so alive and so real. That you come to work, it doesn't feel like you're going to work. Even when I have to get up at 4:45 in the morning to be at work at 5:45 or whatever it is, I don't. It's not a sacrifice for me, because we all get along, and it's like a brotherhood or a sisterhood. We argue, we make up, but the underlying tone is always love, unconditional love. And I think that's why the show's been on for so long with so little hiccups. Because, and then let's face it, after 9 years, there's a lot of life turnover. There's weddings, there's divorces, there's births, there's deaths. And, it's a period of our life. I mean, I'm 34. This is more than a quarter of my life that I've been here with these people every day. So, I think our environment speaks for itself.
So last season, she went through everything, kidnapping, coma. Do you think she can she can experience something that's extreme as that she did last year, or is it possible?
Like a wedding?
We're going to talk about
the other extreme. Can she? I don't know. She seems pretty resilient to me after a while. I think, scar tissue is a lot harder to break through than regular skin. So, I think she can endure a lot of things. But now, this season so far, we haven't had anything traumatic like that, I think.
Well, you're talking about the wedding, so that this is a big subject, among the fans. And so when should it happen? When would it happen? How should it look like?
I have no idea. I can tell you that throughout the season, they kind of speckle conversations between Kensi and Deeks, that they're like, oh, I need to organize this, and your mom gave me these suggestions, and I don't want to hear your mom talking about the flowers anymore. She's not exactly the girl who's the party planner. You know what I mean? This job has been her life for whenever she can remember. She was a little nomadic as a child. She ran away from home, all this stuff. So she's not exactly like, I'm going to get a party planner, and I'm going to get the prettiest flowers and the biggest dress. That's not who she is. So Deeks and her have a conversation where she's like, I need help with the tablecloths. You're not helping me with the tablecloths. And he's like, I'm sorry, all I care about is that this is about you, because you're the bride and you're going to be happy. And she's just like, you know what? I don't care about the tablecloths. She doesn't care. She just wants to get married and, express her commitment amongst friends and family to Deeks. So it's pretty interesting, their dynamic with this. But as I understand, so far in season 9, we've had none of the writers or producers have told me anything about when the wedding will happen or if we'll even see it. I feel like the fans deserve to kind of see it, though. They've been waiting for it for so long. It would be nice to see Kensi in a white dress.
The actual episodes are taking place, some of them taking place in Vietnam. How's it to recreate a country like this when you're, in Los Angeles, to make it look like it's real?
That all comes down to our set designers, our set decorators, our plant guy, because you know, you want to create the environment, the foliage, the fly, everything's different in Vietnam than it is here. You know, obviously in post-production, maybe there's certain filters that are used to change the tone that you're seeing. And then of course, like what we're wearing, so wardrobe as well. And obviously Vietnam is a very humid, rainy place, and so they basically have a huge hose just spraying water into the air, and we're wearing waterproof clothes with our weapons and all this stuff, and you'll see in the episode. And we're just getting rained on as we're walking through the forest trying to figure out where Hetty is. So there's a lot of movie magic that goes into recreating a completely different country. And of course, there's certain locations within Los Angeles that are more isolated, which allow for more transformation. That stuff, it doesn't take place at Paramount. So,
going back to Portugal, last question.
Yeah.
So how long did you live over there? For how many years did you stay over there?
I was in Portugal from the age of 5 until the age of 18.
Okay.
And then 21 to 23.
So you
15 years I lived in Portugal.
All right, thank you, Daniela.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you.